Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, I just wanted to go live for what I saw. There's like 14 people here already. So I was going to BS with all y'all that showed up early and on time and say hi. You know, there's like a delay on here. I see I got 13 people live. What's up? Am I getting chats? Do run through the numbers. Hey, it's good to talk to y'all. Good to catch y'all up. There's been a lot going on behind the scenes. I've been busy and had to litigate instead of do law. So let me hang out in BS. Oh, Pete Gregory thought maybe they tossed you in the clinker. No, man. I had a court date on January 25th I was keeping quiet about, and that's what I thought. I thought they were going to show up and like nail me, and yeah, there's just been a lot of drama going on. Drew, Serial, what's up, bro? Hey, good to see you. Yeah, yes, I have updates, so I'm going to say hi to everyone real quick. Keeping the swine. Hey, what's up? What's going on? Joe Black. All right, Big G. Yo, good to see you, brother. Hey, yeah. Bill Smith. Lou Skunk. Just got the nose. Mark Wood. All right, One Legged Media. Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's good to catch up. Good to see from old friends. Dr. Idiot. Yeah, Doug Baum. There's no excuses here. Irish Rover. Doug Baum. Yeah. Latin Indian, good to see you. Todd, yo, keeping the swine. Yeah, okay. All right, we rolled through enough. We did in like a minute and a half now. Anybody that was interested in this story is now like left for when the live's gonna reloop. So who? Okay, look, outsider. Yes. All right. Thanks. I got 53 people here. I'm just gonna roll into it, because everyone catching this at a later time when the president is not going to have his like rebroadcast of the national address or State of the Union. Anyway, I'm going to roll right into it. Okay, so I've been busy litigating and juggling life, and that's why y'all haven't gotten the updates on the like with videos. They don't pay off. Anyway, I'll get right into it. So I've got two court cases going. I've got the federal case, the federal civil case. I'm the plaintiff, that's in federal court, and it's a civil case against the all the turds that arrested me up there at the courthouse on this last one, where they hit me with 5 years worth of charges to cover me block my coverage from the racket that I'm pursuing. That's what I was there for that day. Anyway, so that was my civil charge, because they hit me with 5 years worth of charges for some, a civilly protected activity. And one of them was, the big one, was the malicious prosecution against the attorney general, because I caught the deputy attorney general fabricating evidence, like dead to rights. I have that evidence and on the record, to meet the level for prosecution. Like, they charged me with the most heinous stuff to stack it, to get me to plead out. And when I ended up being my own lawyer, caught her clearly fabricating evidence like six months after the deal, and they had to pull all the charges related to it. Anyway, so that's my civil case. It's in federal court going on. And then my other one that I have updates about is my criminal case in the Pennsylvania state courts that is now officially, I believe, as far as I believe, on the record to be reviewed as an application to appeal to the state Supreme Court. Officially accepted on the record. I don't know if y'all caught up on my last couple of videos that I actually made, I don't know, like 3 months ago, and that was me trying to mail off, like when I had all that mail crap going on. You guys don't understand what goes on with these episodes. Like, my litigation is so boring, it's not good for YouTube format, that like I have to trick the YouTube format into like live videos. So like the mail clerk, those last 3 rounds of videos, that was me just trying to mail off stuff for my Supreme Court appeal. And like that clerk did that to me. So like, he actually did me a favor, because then he asked for me to like, do a video investigation on him. And that's why it was like worth watching, for like live video interaction stuff for YouTube, and like the people that really like the interactions on First Amendment stuff. And then I got to carry and weave in the story of what's going on. So anyway, that was supposed to be a short brief on the two things. Who's that? Whoever just the YouTubers don't read. I know. You gotta understand, man. Like, a lot of people don't, or hit YouTube for different reasons. A lot of us are like, looking for how-tos, and other kids are looking for lipstick videos and whatnot, toy reviews. Anyway, I'm trying to stay on topic, man. Thanks. So yeah, anyway, the two cases. So that was the two briefs. So I got the one, I can update about the federal civil court, where I'm the plaintiff suing all them cats. And it kind of dovetails into with what's going on. It's the same case. It's just me suing them for civilly for violating my rights, trying to prosecute me for First Amendment protected activity and investigating the crimes of the state. And then the criminal appeal. So what happened was, I guess I'll go with a brief summary on what got me into this for everyone that's starting to track now. Thanks, 80 people. Bunch of thumbs up and all that. This is for y'all. It's such a boring format. I hate being a talking head on here. I try not to make too much content where I'm just like sitting around here talking to the camera. It's just not worth it. Like, all y'all that are following this, thank you. Y'all my, like, supporters and Spartans that have been around and are keeping this going. But like, the way the algorithm works, and I'm a shadow banned, that like, this is just for y'all, literally. Like, this is not going to be seen by like new people. And it's literally just an update for y'all. So yeah. Y'all are making me laugh too much to stay on topic. Come on, I'm like a squirrel. Anyway, I love y'all. Y'all are some of the greatest fans. I love the humor that y'all bring to the table. I appreciate having y'all around. Anyway, King Charles, what's up? So I guess the brief was, after getting stabbed and thrown in jail twice for the same story, to fast forward, I started the local network of people that have been disaffected by the courts. And they fed me. I ended up going way above my level, just some guy getting stabbed, because I made it my life's mission. It's been 5 years. And I investigated it, like the guy that stabbed me, he's got a fraudulent bankruptcy. And then, well, it turns out my district attorney, he's got a fraudulent bankruptcy. And then it turns out, like the whole state, the state judicial elite run like a real estate bankruptcy racket and real estate racket out of my county, because we only have 4 sitting judges. And once they have the district attorney on their payroll acting as gatekeeper by having granted him one of these, then like the whole Dauphin County, which is where like Harrisburg is like the power of, Harris, it's the capital of Pennsylvania. They just farm out through Adams County right down here where like, we only have 4 sitting judges. It's a perfect way to have them all bought off. Anyway, so they just like run their operations out of here and have no ways to worry about. And go so far up to like, you could tie it all the way up to George Soros donating more for the Attorney General's campaign, who's now the governor of our state. You could go 9 miles from some day, and y'all that watch some of my old investigation videos that never went anywhere, like you are tracking somehow that goes up there. But anyway, that's why George Soros targets prosecutors, right? That's why he targets prosecutors, because once you have them in your pocket, and like a lot of these prosecutors, this is a Republican slob from Podunk, Pennsylvania. He doesn't even know he's a George Soros prosecutor. It's just like the local regional network of Republicans, in which that's where this district is, has him controlled that way. Okay, so like, that's just so off topic. So anyway, I punched way above my level, and I found out a lot of the state doing a lot of bad things through my county, and it's brought a lot of heat on me, and that's why things have gotten so crazy. And when I got arrested for this last round of charges that we're all talking about, these 2 cases. So my criminal case that I'm appealing right now, it's in the state Supreme Court. And then the fallout of that is me suing in federal court for my civil rights violating my civil rights. What happened was I was following a case of the county bar. The president of the county bar were like the syndicate that was like fabricating deeds and houses and doing the swap and fraudulent bankruptcies and fraudulent bank loans, bank fraud, federal bank fraud. I was attending that trial where they were doing that, or hearing, and they wouldn't allow me. And then I went to go in to check. And then when I was there, I bumped into the head of security, who I was currently at that time suing for his spouse for throwing, for federal racketeering, for throwing me in jail twice on the same charges when Crazy Pants broke in the house. That's why it's hard for me to go into this with a lot of people, because it just, put on your full hat before this, and it's what's going to happen. So like, that anyway, that's the guy who arrested me, but the head of security, Mark Masimer, right? When I was following this case, I was asking him questions pertaining to that. They arrested me retaliatory. They stacked charges on me for like 5 years worth of crap, right? Try to get me to plead out. And anyway, I caught my attorney backdooring me, and then like caught where the attorney general's telling him to like waive my rights, and he does, and blah 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 blah. And anyway, so I started litigating my own case like 4 or 5 months into it, and I don't know the first thing about lawyers, but like I'm motivated and I can Google, and I do have a degree in underwater basket weaving. But that degree taught me writing and research. So I feel like I did have skills to sit down and learn this if I was motivated and do it. And that's why I ended up becoming my own attorney, pro se litigant, and beating the snot out of the attorney general prosecuting me. I caught her fabricating evidence and I caught her destroying evidence. So she had to withdraw those 2 related charges. And then to get the third one, which is like disorderly conduct, which remember, if you're one of their cronies that has a fraudulent bankruptcy, when you get stabbed, sup angry vet, good to see you, brother. When you get stabbed, that's disorderly conduct. Well, me having been fraudulently arrested for trespassing, which they charged me with, and they withdrew the charges. So they created a hazardous public environment by fraudulently arresting me. They found me guilty of that. But even worse, they dropped it. So they hit me with 3 charges like institutional vandalism. That's where they fabricated the evidence 6 months afterwards. Trespassing, which I wasn't trespassing. I was there like legit and legal. I was in the foyer. So that they withdrew that. And then the third one they were trying to rail me on was disorderly conduct for like, getting hazardly. They dogpiled me arrested. It's in the background on one of the videos. I have it all. So but the attorney general, to nail me on like as maximum as she could, as she originally charged me with, like, maxing me out, stacking me, she would have had to be a jury trial. And then I would have been able to bring all this in front of a jury, and they might not have won the case. And for me not to be able to sue them for malicious prosecution and all of this, they have to win on one of those elements. So what they mistakenly did, the attorney general, she withdrew all 3 original charges and then refiled the disorderly conduct charge. It's like a summary, like way down here. It's actually less than a speeding ticket. It's not even a moving violation. So like, they say by state of Pennsylvania, their laws, you can't have a jury trial, and it's $200 fine. It's actually not against federal law, but good luck arguing that later after they, in federal courts. I don't want to hear it. Y'all are going to start chiming in. You people that know this, I know, but good luck trying to have them follow their own dang laws. All right, moving on to the story. So, that's where things stood. They found me guilty. They installed, there was a whole bench recusal, all my county judges, and then like 2 more. I caught the judges just like, what? Anyway, 3rd judge they installed. After that, they appointed from out of county. They installed. They messed up the paperwork on him. And blah 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 blah. Anyway, they found me guilty on that last lead charge. Okay, so that's like how they found me guilty, and that went to Superior Court Appeal, and I paid. Aaron Martin, he was Met Evans and Woodside in Pennsylvania. He was advising me. I got turned on to him as my attorney through someone in the network, and he's really good at like researching law and like writing law and submitting the documents and all this. However, he's not the best, I feel, in arguing in the court, and we had it our day in Superior Court, and he just kind of like got beat up and rolled over. And Superior Court, again, found me guilty. This not to review. So at this point, I had hired Aaron to pursue my civil litigation in federal court because, like, I don't know federal court. I tried that one time and I was awful at it the first time I tried. For federal malicious prosecution, it's too much, man. It's too much juice right out the gate. I wasn't ready for it, and I knew it. That's why I was paying him to do it. So then at that same time, like my Superior Court case, Superior Court, I'd paid Aaron to represent me, and he did. I felt like he submitted good paperwork and whatnot. Argued like just rolled over, man. Before there, I was there. So anyway, Supreme Court hit it. Or Superior Court, ruled against me, found me not guilty. And to do a Supreme Court appeal, so after Superior Court said no, and to do a Supreme Court appeal, like right off the bat, 97% of them are rejected because you got to apply to them to be heard. It's like not worth their time to hear cases. They want to hear cases where they can like make state law, right? Because it's like the Supreme Court. They can literally just hear your application. What you're doing is you're applying for them. Like, hey, these are the reasons why the Supreme Court, you guys need to make law on this. And like all of your arguments have to be why it needs the Supreme Court. Like it's important. There's like, rules. There's like 7 reasons you need them to review it. So I got like 4 or 5. All of it's linked below in all the videos. And it's all, I wrote it all in Gonzo. So like, it's entertaining to read. And, I link all the evidence on this stuff and whatnot. And I write it how no lawyer ever would. It's just so insulting. It's fun to read. And I rip on these guys. Because like, the Superior Court judge that said no, he wrote it. His name is he's former Supreme Court judge who was a temporary. Then he came back down to Superior Court. His name is Corial Stevens. He wrote the thing, and like in his answer, denying my appeal, in his answer, he cited the wrong law. Like he misquoted the wrong law. So then I got to like write why the Superior Court was messed up. So I'm like, one of the laws, you guys have to make a judgment on this because the laws are so confusing that one of your former Supreme Court justices doesn't even know the law to cite. He's citing the wrong law, denying this. So it's like hilarious, man. I professionally spank everyone that deserves it. And it's funny. Anyway, it's very disrespectful. And the thing is I wrote it knowing, that they were going to ignore it. And, 97% chance that they were going to ignore it. So what I did was I linked like all the stuff because, I'd written and submitted everything on the court record. So it's always there. They can't say, oh, you didn't bring that up in court. It's there on the record. So I can link back. So in my Supreme Court appeal, I cited all this like crazy stuff that the state's done and where it is on the record for them to review. So it was a win either way. Even if they 97% chance ignored it and I applied for it, it was so gonzo, but they'd have to put their names on it like that they denied it. It was like great. So, like either big win or little win. I can't lose. And I wasn't going to pay my attorney to do it because he just rolled over in courts and obviously the courts are just going to hide it. So I like wrote that in Gonzo and like I literally sign off like I just wrote the greatest play in front of the most supreme of courts, in this stage theater of justice. Like it's like poetry, man. It's great. It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun writing it and like rubbing their noses in their own, like snotty poop, I can't even get it. I can't, words escape me. I can't use smart words when I'm this angry at them. Anyway, I wrote it real eloquently because I had time to write it, kind of, sort of. And the dress comment was amazing. Yeah, Angry Vet, thanks. Yes, I'll get to that, man. So anyway, the big drama in those last 3 videos, which was like really big and was really difficult. 143, thanks everybody for being here. It was really difficult for me to have done that as a creator, and I made those videos to like relate the gravity of what's going on. And I think you look back on one of those videos like where I caught them in the conspiracy, and I think it has like 5,000 views because he's got shadow banned. It's just not really great content to watch, I know, but like I just figured like maybe that would have got some attention, some big attention, because what happened was when I filed that Supreme Court appeal, it should have hit the record. It was so damning that they didn't want to have the Supreme Court sign their names on it, that they denied it. So they hit it from the record. Like, that's how grave that was that I was catching that stuff. And they did it so bad that they even cited like false law to like hide it. Like, because remember I told you I beat the Attorney General myself in court at the county level. Well, they were citing a law saying, oh, you're not allowed to file a document as a pro se litigant. You're not allowed to file this Supreme Court appeal because we don't recognize you as your own attorney. And they cited this rule that says, if, Aaron, my attorney in the Superior Court, had represented me all the way through from, trial court to Superior Court to Supreme Court, then I'd have to petition before a judge to have him released, however they want to work it. but that's not true. I represented myself. So they were citing false law. So I caught them in this. And that's where I was like, did them last round of videos, man. I was like stressing out, having to write the law, bang out the video, do the press, hit the comments. Thanks, y'all. This is the gravity of this. Push it out. And like, it's like a fart in the wind, man. So that's, it's a sidebar even more of why y'all don't get court videos no more. Like, again, when I did my own trial as Counselor Kangaroo, and I sang like, loving you or not loving you. Come on, man. The Top Gun song, the Isley Brothers. I don't even care anymore, man. I pulled all that stuff off and then like made the episodes and da 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 da, and like it's got it went out like a fart in the wind. Like it didn't change nothing. So anyway, I'm not like defeated about it. I'm just telling y'all like it takes so much to litigate that to standard, and then make the videos. And then the videos didn't produce that. Right now I'm playing such life triage that I have to like do the court stuff, the litigating, just to kick the can down the road to keep it alive, so that like one day when I'm not shadow banned or make a breakout or whatever, like I'll have it, I'll have it documented and alive. And yeah, I can't put in the ever. I'm not saying I'm done with videos. I'm saying that. I'm just saying I'm not doing videos that won't make a break out of the park. You know what I mean? Like, won't break out on YouTube. It says I have to mix in like live action stuff with it to carry the story. And that's the reason why out of them last round of 3 videos, like the one that made it was like me videotaping Safi, the post office guy, catching him not knowing I was filming in public, and, hiding trying to sending up my paperwork. Like that one's got 50,000 because that's like kind of fun to watch. But like the real gravity of that is that not only did I just catch him on video and doing that, that's fun to watch, but the real gravity is I just caught the Supreme Court hiding this on the record and federal mail fraud to do it and citing all this stuff and like nothing went. So anyway, I'm not gonna dwell on negativity. I've just learned to invest resources where they're best applied, and I'm not giving up on the videos. It's just why you guys aren't getting like so much effort in the court things. I'm keeping it alive as a pro se litigant, kicking the can down the road. So anyway, back to where the courts were. So that's what that big push was when I was making my last rounds of videos. And since then, what's happened on January 25th, the Supreme Court, they hit all that stuff. They're like, yeah, they said I had to go back down to the county court level for Judge Lewis, the one that, I was litigated before him myself, to approve me to represent myself in my Supreme Court appeal, which, remember, it's against, it's against procedure. And I had caught them against procedure, and they wouldn't file it because they said, you're not attorney of record. I'm like, I don't need to be, because look at this rule, and they refused to file it. So then I gave it to Aaron to file, and then he's like, I'm on it. And then he didn't do anything, and then they ruled, and he's like, oh, well, I didn't file it. I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me you weren't going to file it? And that's not what you told me. And then he's like, well, I'm not going to file it because there's no way I'd ever file that. I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me that? And B, like, I wrote up the law. Like, here it is. Like, why didn't you say that? Like, here's the rules of procedure. So anyway, that was very educating about Aaron. And that's why we were down there at the courts. He could have just filed that for me, but he said he wouldn't because it's professional standards when it's... So anyway, that's, really made me perk my ears up about him. Scottish One, what's up? So then it came time for January 25th, and that's where some of y'all that got the community post where it shows, the judge, I let the record reflect that the judge was wearing a dress. That was that one. And what they didn't know was I didn't broadcast it because I don't want to spam and ruin everything out. You guys would ask great questions that I couldn't answer and might tip stuff off. So what happened was we got to court, in county level court, and it was Judge Lewis from, the videos trying to hide everything again, just follow the things, not allowing me to represent myself. And he went to go, do whatever he was going to do, the set match piece. And as soon as my Aaron, my attorney started talking, I objected. I'm like, who is this guy? He's not my attorney. Show me showing me his precept for appearance in the Adams County Court of Common Pleas. Because I was my own attorney before this judge in this court. Aaron, my attorney, I hired him for the Superior Court. Like, he had no business being there. Like, none whatsoever. And, you know, I didn't tell him at the time because I figured he was backdooring me. So I had that ace in my hole, into my back pocket. And it just played out before the courts. And it's funny. You guys got the last page of it. But the whole thing's, like, beyond, like, reason. So that's where I tripped them up. They actually had to have another recess and, like, figure out how they were going to hide this one. And they did it again anyway. You guys got the last page of it on the community page. And that's why I was, you know, motioning for the judge, you know, he had address, you know, let the record reflect he had address. Just give him one last parting shot and remember me by. So, anyway, that was that. And, in the meantime, I'd thrown up on the community board, some of y'all that still get those, you know, notifications, that the federal civil case. So remember, this is my attorney, Aaron Martin. He was representing me in the Superior Court case, but then, you know, that got beat. And then I hired him for the civil case to attack, you know, as a plaintiff, sue all these jerks for, you know, fabricating this evidence and all that. Well, that case, that judge dismissed the case against the Attorney General as a prosecutor. And one of the big things I hired Aaron for was because I caught the Attorney General, my prosecutor, fabricating evidence 6 months after the fact. It's all linked, and I'll show you all this stuff. These guys have been reading this stuff. You know, she realized, she charged me with to stack the charges against me and hit me with the most heinous charge. Realized that she didn't have any evidence to pursue the charge that she was charging me with, like the most heinous stuff that would get me in like state pen time, the institutional vandalism. So instead of dropping the charge, because I was actually, you know, took over attorney as my attorney, I'm like, show me where you meet these. Instead of dropping the charge, she called for the fabrication of the evidence, like, you know. So she called for an invoice, and it's like, I got the emails on blah 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 blah, you know. So caught her doing it, and she still pursued charges for another 8 months before she completely withdrew them. Right? I have all that stuff. Aaron's been all over that. He's been sent it. That's why I hired him specifically to sue the Attorney General, because also, so not only what happens is the bar of prosecutorial immunity. One of the big words is thrown around is probable cause, and if they have probable cause to pursue charges, like, hey, the sheriff said he did this, and here's all the stuff the sheriff sent up along with it, the prosecutor, you know, isn't gonna, you know, is protected by pursuing charges for all that stuff, right? That's probable cause, prosecutorial immunity. Probable cause dissipated when she realized that she didn't have any evidence to nail me on. So then she should have just, you know, okay, dismissed the charges. Instead, she called for the fabrication of them. And I have the 6 month later printed invoice, and I have the emails of it all exchanged all the way through. And I submitted it to the court record and all this. Anyway, have it all. And Aaron knew this. And again, like, that's a crime. Like, so not only did she not have the evidence to meet the crime and didn't dismiss it, she called for fabrication of it and then continued to pursue it for another 8 months. You no longer have prosecutorial immunity for that because you no longer have probable cause. You've called for the creation of it. And also, one of the things bars previously to suing for malicious prosecution, the prosecutor themselves, is that you have to have successful outcome. The Supreme Court just ruled and lowered the bar 2 years ago to sue a prosecutor for malicious prosecution, but that bar still, you have to had good outcomes on the charges. And because the attorney willingly withdrew all 3 original charges, I'm suing on them. But they argue that, well, no, they found me guilty, installed a judge on this lower one that they regraded. It's not the original offense at all, you know, after fabricating all the evidence. So anyway, I was told, and Aaron, the entire time, that's why I was doing it. That's why I don't care about suing for all these other guys. I want the Attorney General. They just lowered the bar for malicious prosecution, and I have them fabricating an invoice, which, like, you know, do something with that, man. That's why you're hired to do this. And he didn't. He never brought it on the record. And when I asked him why, he said we talked on the phone and we were going to do this. And like, I have tons of emails that, providing this. He knows all about it. And he never did. He never put it on the record. He's like, well, the judge is going to have to see something, blah, 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 malicious to keep her in this case. And I was like, show her the invoices and the emails. And he never did. And so later the judge dismissed, the malicious prosecution claim. And I asked Aaron, I was like, why did you get this stuff on the record? Did you have the fabrication of the invoice on the record? Like, you don't have this? And he gave back some like nonsensical, like weak sauce answer. Like, no, because the date of probable cause predates the invoice. I'm like, yeah, I know, because she had to write it like 6 months later. And like, I have her in her own words 6 weeks later saying there is no invoice, there is no this, there is no that, by her own words. And then later she provides it to me to like meet the charges. So it's actually a crime. It's not protected by prosecutorial immunity because you can't fabricate evidence and you can't generate it probable cause, to continue pursuing. And then to make insult to injury, she voluntarily withdrew it 8 months later, which I was under bond that entire time. So anyway, that doesn't sound like malicious prosecution. Sounds like it to me. And that's why I hired Aaron to do it. Well, he never put it on the record and gave me that weak sauce answer on why. So again, I was having that same thoughts with Aaron. Like, if you felt that way, why didn't you say that to me on the phone when I told you to put that on the record? Why didn't you say, no, predates? I'm like, oh, bullshit, put it on there, blah, 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 whatever, I don't care. But he didn't. He just said, okay, to blow smoke up my ass until the judge made a decision, throwing it away, and, yes. So, after all that state stuff cleared, this is what I've been doing in the background, you guys, man, on top of, like, juggling life. Been keeping the litigation alive. So, after all that juggling, right, and doing all those episodes, remember, with my state Supreme Court appeal case, catching them on all that stuff, and doing all this, apparently, thanks to y'all and the coverage and catching them and whatnot, apparently, it has kept the Supreme Court honest, and they actually accepted my application to appeal, which is that argument on why they should hear this case, which is all the stuff I want their names on, saying, yeah, we don't want to hear this, because it just already drags it all on there. It's great. It's fantastic. I can hang it up on my wall that they have their names on this. And like I said, it's win either way for me. So apparently it hit the record, right? There's a 97% chance that I suggest you guys go and read it. It's on all them mail fraud videos I just did a couple months ago. It's hilarious, man. It's hilarious. So apparently it's on the record. Apparently that's good. Apparently it's good. The judgment says he'll leave it up to the Supreme Court. Well, I caught him breaking procedure. Like, go ahead and challenge me. Go ahead and challenge me again. So I guess it kept them honest, and they filed it. So win, Spartans. Thank you. If you go back and look at the mail fraud videos, click down below in the description, you'll be able to read it. And it's hilarious. It's hilarious. I write this stuff for enjoyment, and like one day I'm going to do an ebook where like, all the things, exhibits are highlighted and you can click to it and read it. And like, it's going to be fun. But again, it's so shadow banned, it would never break out. Books are like, books sink like lead turds to begin with, anyway, yeah, so that was cool, right? The Supreme Court case, it's held up. It's got a 97, by odds, by statistics, it's got a 97% chance of them denying it. Even if I have like good arguable points, it's got to be worth their time to hear it. And that's why the system's set up that way. And that's why I wrote my appeal that way. So even if these sacks of poop, like deny it, I have, they're John Hancock's denying it. And I had my moment. It was great. I figured it would be entertaining. I had a lot of fun writing it. It's really stressful. That's what I was doing in the background during like one of the times, guys. So anyway, okay, moving on to the federal malicious prosecution suit. Don't worry, I'm wrapping up, y'all, on like the updates, and there's way more drama all in between this. But this is like the updates on the stuff, and I'll take Q&A, so if y'all can hold out for one more second, thank you very much. So now back on to my federal malicious prosecution case. Well, like, All of this falls out at the same time. So again, why I've been doing everything in background, y'all ain't been getting videos on it. Videos take forever to produce. I've been keeping a litigation alive. So, Aaron hit me up and he's like, hey, the federal case is moving forward. What do you want me to do? Here's our scheduling. And I'm like, everything I gotta have. I completely lost trust with him. I don't want to have him on my side anymore. And plus, like, as far as I know, the Supreme Court appeal, that I'm litigating for, is like stalled up in front of the Supreme Court, the state Supreme Court, and it's gonna be a while for them to deny it. So, like, man, I kind of got time to kick the can along down the road and keep like the federal thing going now. And remember, I got pretty good at doing state law, right? And all that. So I'm familiar with the process now. So I got pretty good at that. That's why I was having Aaron, my attorney, do the federal stuff, because that's like a lot more complicated. And when I was familiar with the format. But anyway, so now I have time. The state thing is waiting for the Supreme Court to review it and then put their names on it. I guess I have time to like invest now into doing the federal Supreme Court stuff or federal court stuff as the plaintiff. And that's what I did. That's why I just got that out the door. And I was waiting to update y'all on it until I hit the record. But again, they stalled it. I can't even begin to describe to you guys. They stalled it at the Harrisburg mail distribution office at the postmaster. So it gave people time to react. It shouldn't have. And that's why I was trying to update you guys weeks ago once I caught up with that. But I had to wait for it to clear the record. Then I found out. Then I had to expedite it. I paid more money. And then they both got here at the same day today. Right? And it gave... Okay, I'll get into it more. You'll understand what I'm getting at more in a moment. So anyway, I had to write up my own law to become motion. So obviously I'm dismissing Aaron. Not satisfied with him. I hired him to bring that in front of the Attorney General, fabricating evidence in front of the federal courts and sue for that, and he failed to do it. And just completely I feel like he completely backdoored me on it all. So obviously I'm not going to pay him anymore and I have time to litigate, so I'm doing it, right? So the first two steps I got to do is motion to dismiss him, and then motion for substitution of counsel for Counselor Kangaroo. But it's federal court now. I kind of got to play it cool, man. So I bet the rules on the stuff. I made it really funny, but I kept it within bounds of the court. But I can't be full on Counselor Kangaroo in this environment. So anyway, there's things. So if you are a plaintiff and you have an attorney of record, and you hire an attorney, you as a plaintiff, you want to fire your attorney, you are allowed to file that document. But only a few things. You're only allowed to file a notice to the court, you're only allowed to file a few things. If you start doing your own case law, the court's gonna kick it back and say, man, you're not an attorney. If you're the actual person, we can only accept these three things from you, right? What I did was I wrote one of those things that they have to accept to the court record. Right? This is genius. We're going to like this. I wrote one of the things that they have to submit to the court record, and that's dismissal of attorney and motion to, substitution of counsel for myself, pro se litigant. And in that, I had to show why I'm dismissing my attorney, and it was for, it was a malpractice, right? Because I hired him to do this, and he said he would, and he didn't. Right, and it was just complete and blatant. And so I've showed where he's supposed to do this and he didn't. And then I got to show, because I was hired him to bring that a suit against the Attorney General, which got dismissed. So I'm firing for not being effective counsel for that, or completely dropping the ball on it. And then this is why. This is the invoice I'm talking about, and this is the email where the Attorney General said that no invoice exists. And this is where I say, well, then you're going to have to dismiss the case. And then this is her email saying, oh, hey, you guys, building maintenance here, I need an invoice. And then they say, here it is, 6 months, 6 months later, here it is. So I have it, and I submitted it in format. And it's, I don't think I've linked it yet, because I was keeping quiet about it. Karen, oh, what's up, hon? Good to see you. So anyway, so what happened was the kind of genius, I don't want to say genius in that, but the fun in that is that they have to allow it on the court record because it's my reason for dismissing my attorney. But in the reason for dismissing my attorney, I got to use all the stuff he didn't bring on the record, which is like the attorney general fabricating the invoice, which is, a crime. And like, all the stuff that they were like trying their dangest to keep off, I got to legally do it. I got to submit it on there. And that's what I did. And I sent it off, and like 4 people I'd sent it off to, and like 3 of them got held up at the Harrisburg office. 1 of them got the attorney general, who, was defending in the case, and then weird things happened and nothing moved. Everything got held. I couldn't even file anything to the record. Clerk of courts called them up, see what's going on, overnighted them stuff. Everything got held up. But yesterday, I got an email from my attorney, Aaron, and he's like, well, I haven't heard from you, so here's a blah, 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 motion to dismiss. And it's like, within the past 10 days, since all my paperwork's been held up at the postmaster there in Harrisburg, it's almost like the attorney general gave him a call and told him what's coming down the pipeline. And so then in those 10 days, and remember, I've been paying Aaron a year or more to bring that fabricated invoice on the record. I mean, he never did. Specifically what I hired him to do. But in the 10 days that plausibly one of these litigants got served this document, apparently there's been my attorney's been able to get a whole bunch of stuff on the record, why I'm such an obstinate, why I need to be fired. We don't have like a good relationship to continue, to include the stenographer's report from that January 25th hearing, which I've done them all and all the things. It takes me forever, and the judge has to approve it and all this and that, and they had to track everybody down. But for some reason, then my stuff was held up for 10 days, and like all that's like poof, there, here. So like even before my stuff got hit the record, because they're messing with the mail again, like they always have. Remember, you guys, this is one of my last couple episodes were about. They did it again. I've got all the screenshots about it. I have the dang, it's all confirmation mail, and like, anyway. So that gave them ammo to like do this before the federal courts. And like, as far as I know, they haven't even filed the thing. I can go check on like, the PAC file later, e-file later. But anyway, that's what's all been going on. I was going to update y'all about this like last weekend, but they literally held on to my express mail for a couple days. And then before that held on like, regular mail from the 26th until today, 27th. So like 2 weeks to mail it, like, right up state line. So anyway, that's what's going on with all that stuff. And again, I could get more into the technical law about it, but the Supreme Court appeal that I wrote, it's really fun and really good, and I catch them. It all brings up really good law. The fun thing about that was I caught him out of jurisdiction twice, and in the Superior Court, we brought one way up. Well, when they denied that, I have him locked into that. Well, that allowed me to bring up the second way I caught him out of jurisdiction, which they argued themselves into in their Superior Court decision. So it's like they can't have it both ways. So that was a lot of fun. And it's, apparently before the Supreme Court. And this is where we are today, guys. So apparently, I'm kicking the federal stuff. Apparently, we're going to have a lot of noise come down to me about that. I'm going to have a lot of time, juggling, trying to deal with that, keeping all that law alive. And I'll try to get back to y'all on that update and what goes on with that. And then, we are waiting, apparently, on the other case for the state Supreme Court to say, no, your case isn't worth hearing. Or, yes, we accept your petition. We're going to hear your arguments. So that's where things are right now on top of me, like, juggling life and all this crazy stuff. So, all right, we all caught up. King Charles, thanks for the update. It's great to hear. Yeah, thanks. Cool. All right. Hey, thanks. I'm glad you liked that update. Yes, this was straight up for all y'all fans, like, wondering what's going on. Y'all been here for so long. I hate to leave you high and dry, but, like, you guys understand, I'm trying to break this out, and like I gotta knock something like out of the park. Yep, Mushroom Man, hey, good to see you, homie. Yeah. Wood ears are starting to pop, man. I just found a honey hole for wood ears. Angry Vet. Correct me, knowledge. Ed Smith. Where are we going? Look at Square. How's the build going at the farm? Flying Auditor. Yeah, it's actually my bug out hole, and thanks for letting 157 people know about it, bro. Thanks. I'm just kidding with you. No, it's good, man. You see this faux brick wall I got up? This is like the accent piece because everything is such a pile of crap that this draws your eye, and you're like, oh man, he's got like a brick wall. And it looks good. See, you guys wouldn't even know. Thanks. And I use it as my background. Everything's dual purpose. It works out for a reason. Thanks. Thanks, Flying Otter. Good to see you, bro. Benny John, sorry you missed it. Just a guy, what's up? Any new favorite mushrooms? Yes, thanks for asking. I should update more channels. Right now the wood ears are out because we had that warm spring. It's kind of wet, so I've been eating a lot of them, finding a lot of them. I'm mushroom hunting a different area. It's called in a riparian zone. So instead of being straight up in the woods of Pennsylvania, Penn's Woods, Pennsylvania, Penn's Woods, that's what that means. Lots of woods, lots of old growth woods and whatnot. Now I'm still kind of in that area because like where I'm at, and it's old parks and woodlines and field rows, but like it's on the Potomac in like a riparian zone. This is where I'm at for like right now. You know, I'm traveling around, dual resident. So it has different mushroom structure, like different. So I'm learning, and you have to learn spots. That's what makes you good at being a mushroom hunter. Not only do you have to, know the mushroom species and time and climate and blah 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 blah. That's just general. It's just like fishing. Then you go find a new lake. So you can take your general base of knowledge, but you got to go find the spots where to go. Where's the good trees. If it's this time of year, then I'm looking for these like morels will be in soon. So I'd be looking for where the trees that harvest morels right now. Soon here shortly. But anyway, that's what I'm up to, bro. Thanks. Yeah, I can do a couple pictures. I should. All right, what's up? OG Cabbage, what's up? Been wondering. Oh yeah, I just did the whole update. Barely enough water to keep a pet rocket in Arizona. Oh no, man. So yeah, definitely. There's more mushrooms depending on the area, man. But you can grow them, man. If you find the right stuff, that's real popular, and you get a cheap indoor grow going. Scottish Wood, what's up? How's Buddy? He's over there actually, garden, Bully Bear. He's there. He's knocked out. I fed him before we got on, so he wouldn't be here going crazy. And he's digesting right now. He's fed raw, so he kind of gets a high fat meat protein diet, and he's an old dog and tends to knock out for a few, just like his old man. After you have a meal. Thanks for asking. He's lovely. Love my life. Still hanging out. We still keeping an eye on his daddy. Angry Vet, your computer froze. Cause dogs, just the guy, you know it, man. It's all about it. Angry Vet, you're on the phone now. Okay. All right. Ooh, King Charles, yeah, you know it. Yeah, Six Oaks. Hey, yeah, good to see you, homie. Yeah, hey, man, thanks. Kevin, the Angry Vet's been keeping me up a lot on, the network that keeps us rolling. You're such a good part of it. Thank you. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, it takes a village. Takes a village. Carino, you know it. Yeah, I put a mushroom short on there a while ago of me and Bullet mushroom hunting. I should do another one. Again, whatever. We have a mushroom farm 6 miles away. Wimbledon, you can smell them. Oh, Ryan. Yep. Yeah, oh, yeah, man. I'm sure this mycelium network, follows along with it. Johnny Cash. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for backing me up, homie. Yeah, couldn't do it without you guys. Yeah, if you guys tracking anyone that I'm working on stuff, y'all. I'm keeping the legal can kicked down the road, but yeah, if you guys know somebody that likes to do true crime documentaries or likes this stuff, man, I can just data dump them everything and work with them to get it out. Someone who's not shadow banned, I would take the time to do that. I'd love to take the time to do that, and I love you guys. I get really discouraged when people are like, "Oh, you should hit up this guy," because I'm shadow banned. It never gets through. It will never come from me in 5 years. It hasn't worked, and so So I can rely on people. But then also, like, I love you guys, and you'll share my links, like at and links, and then like links will be banned. So can't get around that. And then like, y'all put it on Facebook and let your friends know, and that's all direct. And the community supports each other, and like, I'll see, people will link my stuff, and it won't be in other browsers. Just like last month, guys know the my my pullover video from the park ranger that went, viral, got me on the map. So another guy did a short off of it in the community like a month ago. It blew up to like 1.5 million views. And you go to look at it, try to track it down on his page, and you can't even see it on his page, on his videos. You can't look for it if you try. Because they found it, and then they banned it, So anyway, yeah, that's why. It's just part of the shadow ban. So just like I try to say, I say it a lot in my videos, but these type of scandals that go way big, like way over my head. It's not just me getting stabbed, and it's just, I ended up creating a community movement that really exposed a lot of corruption in a really corrupt state. They're the state judicial leader running a real estate and bankruptcy fraud racket out of my small Podunk county. And I have all the receipts. And they prosecuted me for 5 years for it. The attorney general did. So I detailed it all out, serving them, detailing all the journalism that I did, detailing this racket. I served it to them on the court record, submitted, bang, it's on the court record, it's there. That really happened. That really happened. So, and all the evidence is there. And nothing, I haven't been able to break out. I know I'm like in a weird format and all blah, blah, but these types of scandals only break when through peer-to-peer shares. Like literally the Epstein scandal broke because internet cats, and this was before they had so much control over the internet and social media. It broke because internet cats that were talking about Jeffrey Epstein and knew his history were like posting pictures of him with like Bill Clinton, and then the left got involved and were like posting pictures of him with like Donald Trump, and it got so big that it grew out of proportion. Epstein, and then like it kept them honest. That is the only reason that happened. Like, you guys know the Olympic gymnast scandal, man. Talk about it all the time. Where that one doctor was like diddling like our entire Olympic women's gymnastics team. The little tweenies for like 20 years, and like they knew about it, and the feds knew about it after like victim number 80, and like the one fed was the special agent in charge, Indianapolis field office. He was trying to get a job on the Olympic committee after you're retired, because that's where you are, you're senior special agent in charge. And so he put a quash on all that for the Olympic committee, because women's Olympic gymnastics, that's a big moneymaker for them. And he kept the quash on it. So like another 120 little girls, student, like America's #1 stars you see on TV doing it, da 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 da, getting diddled by the aid and assistance of a FBI special agent in charge for another 120 of them, until it got so big. Like our #1 star, like I forget her name. Was it Dominique Dawes? I don't want to speak out of quietness, Anyway, she spoke up out about it, and finally it made him cough up about it. And so I think this guy got to retire with pay or whatever. It got brushed out. But the Olympic Committee had to pay like $300 million payout to these girls, the associations. But, here we are again. It all happened, and there's no, like, everything's cool, because, and that's just like one guy trying to get a job on the Olympic Committee. Like, come on. Like, you got to be real about stuff. You got to be, but anyway, that's reality, and it's narrative breaking. That's why we're not allowed to focus on it. That's why we're supposed to focus on whatever that box on the wall is telling you now. Anyway, you got to hit the like button again for your phone. All right, cool. Thanks, brother. I got a lot of likes. 126 people. Thanks, y'all, for being here. Okay, next question. What's up? Something to move the story forward. Have you painted your roof blue? Oh, Poppy D, you got that one. Oh, man. Yo, man, you're awesome. Yeah. You guys caught that sound blip from Biden saying, then all the roofs burned down except for this one because it was blue. It's like, shut up. Yo, it's like, who told him that, man? You're not supposed to tell him anything. Well, like, it was 100% effective, Mr. President, except for this one house whose roof was blue and didn't interact with the infrared rays and didn't heat up enough. It's like, anyway, come on, man. It's too much going on. Talked to Napoleon's audit, been dark lately. Yeah, he got out of the pen and he's alive and well. And I don't know, it's like, you get out of pen, you might need to catch up and get life going again. I haven't heard from him. TAV is closer up to him. I think he's heard more from him as of late. But last I heard, he's out of jail and doing good. All right, what's up? Next question, y'all. Yes, Tucker Terry. Just spoke to him a couple days ago. He's good. Yep. Yeah. Again, from the outside perspective, being one of the guys like in jail, like it's he takes some time to adjust. I don't know. Maybe he's got to fill up his juice or whatever. He just got out, so. He always comes back, and he comes back as a vengeance. We all saw Annapolis Audit's last video that he made. He did like a police kid diddling investigation, and weird. He got thrown in jail for like 60 days for nothing. It was crazy. Anyway, go check out that video. It's really good journalism. He's way more serious than I am, so he's able to take it more seriously. Go check out his vid, man. He got shadow banned, and I didn't know any of that went on until he was already lost in it. Your channel's lost in the noise. News. Hoping that someday do a vid about these cons getting served justice. Right, yeah, got to keep it alive. He has an appeal pending in Maryland Supreme Court. Okay, there's a General Specific has asked you where you are. Stephanie, yes, thanks. What's up? Yeah, doing litigation, man. It's like the whole last 56 minutes of this thing I've been railing on it. That's why I've been doing litigation 90 days for less. Yeah, and for now. Yeah, thanks for asking, Steph. Yeah, I'm not like, yeah, I've been literally kicking the can down the road to keep everything alive, keep the litigation alive. I've had to. Squeaky wheel gets greased. Yeah, you know it. ED4 action. Yeah. So have you been Jake Keith? Yeah, dude, just life triage. Life triage. Keeping that law alive, man. Keeping that law alive. Stephanie, I'll let them know you're good. Yeah, I guess. Keeping the cases alive. Yeah, for now, that judge better start thinking about retirement. I just came on to see your dog. Sadly, he's on the snooze. Oh, yeah, Scottish one. Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, he's guarding me. Some random dude, yo, what's up? Much love. Yeah, he's guarding me in the background. He always sets himself up in like a corner. So if he can't be in between me and the door, then he's in the corner where if someone were to come at me, then he'd have the angle on them. He's a smart dog, man. And, there's bigger dogs than him, but he knows that he's kind of short for his weight. So he'll, get up underneath you, underneath bigger dogs. And, bigger dogs like, oh, I'll put down on you. He's like, well, I bet you I can push up more than you can push down in your weight. And he just, flings them, man. It's hilarious. He's a funny dog. That's my buddy, man. That's my partner in life. Love of my life. Yep. And he's watching over me. So I can focus in on y'all, because I'm a silly human talking to a phone on a thing. Or a talkie thing and behind a light, actually. Richard Clancy, much love, bro. Does a dog out the fungus you find? Oh, yeah. Well, that's funny, Flummox. Yeah, okay, so the story goes, I was a much big fisherman until I got the dog. And then he's, bored sin of fishing. So, he got me into hiking more, especially I was more in, northern Idaho and then Pennsylvania with him. We started kicking up in, northern Idaho. Just right down the road from Ruby Ridge, hilarious enough. And then we just went on been on an adventure together, and we got in Central PA, and that's when the fishing's not. It's a joke around there. So we got into hiking more and keep him entertained, and then that's where I got into mushrooms more because of all the woods. So yeah, I started getting more into it. And yeah, I know how to train a dog, and I was doing positive rewards, and we started on the most prolific mushroom up here that I like to eat, and that's chicken mushrooms, chicken of the woods. I like them. They're prolific. They grow off all the hardwoods, and you can cook them in batches and freeze them well and eat them throughout the rest of the year. So I was teaching them chicken mushrooms, and what's going on with that is they're a rot fungus, so they go by dead stuff, grow off dead stuff, and the mycelial mat. You got to imagine mushrooms are roots of an apple tree underneath. And then like the mushrooms, when they come out, they're just the fruit. So the mat is there sucking up and decaying all the wood and whatever, doing its job to return stuff to soil. And then like when it's the right conditions are in soil temperature and has enough moisture and it's got enough food, it fruits. And that's where you get the mushrooms from. But until then, the mycelial mat is living in the organism wherever it's at. It's decaying, right? It's like eating the stuff as it goes. And then when the conditions are right, it'll fruit. So until then, the mycelial mat's in there. And the mycelial mat smells just like the mushroom, the fruiting body. So here I am like telling the dog to sniff for this, which is, you know, mushroom fruiting body. But he in his dog brain smells this. And I'm the human telling him to go find stuff that smells like this. And he goes and finds me, you know, he would find me chicken in the woods. But like when they weren't fruiting there because their conditions were right, hadn't had moisture or temperature would right, he'd be like, Dad, they're right here. Dad, give me my treat. I found you the mushrooms. They're right here, man. Like, what are you doing? You trained me to do this and I'm doing it. Like, so he'd just get like really frustrated. And I'd get, you know, likewise, and I can't blame him. So we just stopped doing that. And now his job is to keep the rabid, you know, forest animals off of me while I'm being a silly human digging around in the dirt for mushrooms. And I have learned many more things, you know, doing this with him. And one of the other things is when he tells you that he doesn't want to go any further, listen to him. And it's not because he's a fat dog and he's old and lazy. He's always on an adventure. It's because it's probably a freaking bear up there. All right? It's probably a freaking bear. Right? He always wants to go. Why would he not want to go? Probably because he's a bear. Me looking back on all these six situations, it was probably a dang bear every time because we were always in bear territory. Gee, why dog want to walk up here? This is like fantastic. Go, 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 go. You know, it's like he doesn't like these certain spots and it would always be the same ones. And then like one time, he was telling me, like, Dad, we don't want to go up there. We don't want to go up there. But it was in one of our favorite spots he likes to walk. And, like, it was at a time when the awesome mushrooms were fruiting. Amanita muscaria. Yes, I know where a mycelial mat of Amanita muscaria flushes. And it was the time of year. And I know it's there. And the moisture was right and everything. So that's why I was, like, really trying to get out there. And dog was telling me, he's like, dude, and he started barking off, and I heard like something scattering. I'm like, huh, weird. And it was like June is right getting around a berry season, and like that's when I bump into bears, man. That's when they come out. That's the only time they really want to bother being around humans, you know. Like otherwise, it's not worth their time. So like, or was it? Yeah. Anyway, so dogs tell me you don't want to go, and like, oh, all right, well, there's something scared off over there, and he barked at. I'm like, all right. Well, we'll just like go around this side, man, and like went around like this side of like the ridge on the hill, man, and because that's where my spot was, and we chased bear, singular, across that ridge and circled up on around him. It was a pair of mating bears. I have it on video. You guys thought me having that that white buck, you know, that white stag on videos like slick having a conversation with him. No, it was a pair of mating bears, and like the bull was like 300 pounds, man, which is a really large black bear around here. They get bigger, not that often, you know. It's big when they get above 300 pounds around here. But he was about that, and what was crazy, he had an all black face, man, like all black. Like usually I have some tan, some lighter. Nah, man, he was all black face. And like I was looking at him. I have it on video, and that was when it's what motivated me to buy a newer phone. And that's why it was cool. I listened to that. That's when you guys got the white stag deer, cockblocker. Yeah. You guys got the white stag because immediately that week. That's like the later week after that. I got the white stag. Once I had, because I got the video, but it's crappy video because it's like kind of in the dark in the shade, and like we're in like a large field, and I was like scared and poop and didn't want to recess and was just like trying to get it, and they were like being cool, kind of walking away. But yeah, we were only like. Man, I was only like 30 foot from the male. They were kind of walking away up, which again was awful because that's like the way I was going to loop around to go check like the mushrooms going up the ridge. But anyway, it was cool because we all lived. And that's when I learned every time Bullet the dog doesn't want to go where, normally he'd want to go, it's probably been a dang bear. It's always been up in bear country, man. Again, I've been the stupid human. With the mushrooms telling him, no, not their dog. And he's like, but you told me to sniff here. So you got to think about things from a dog's perspective. And that's why that's my bestie, man. He's always looked after me, even though I'm too stupid to listen to him at the time. Anyhow, could be a Bigfoot. No, man, not those ones. No. Where I'm at here in the East Coast, like, there's a lot of people. Like, they do that up in the Northwest. A lot more. Listen to the dog, I know, right? Suburbarity. Stumble Liberty. Oh. Okay, so what? I guess I'm losing people after the update. It's not like that's cool. Y'all showed up. I have Angry Vet. You don't need a service dog. You need to learn to video editor. Fergie does a good job. I like Fergie. Fergie's a nice kitty. No pun intended. Big thumbs up. My dog brings the smarts. Yep, yeah. Sunny Liberty, you know it. If you're smart enough to listen to your dog, they'll tell you what you need to know. That's why they came to adventure with you. That's what dogs do. That's dogs do. They tell you what. They'll tell your life soul what you need to be doing more than you could ever know. Do I have what online? Sorry, I missed it, man. There we go. Black Labs. Yeah. Oh, man, all dogs are great. Can I train a cat to do these tests? Johnny Cash. I would pay money to see it, man. Then you guys start a YouTube channel training cats to do that stuff. It's just, I don't know, for some reason, trained cats are just more entertaining. Nicholas over at Dove, man, long time no see. Love you, much love. Good to see you, man. Long time supporter right there. Yes, good to see all y'all old hands. What's up, man? Up and open book. Hit me up, man. I'll probably be writing federal bunch of law here after a fallout of all that stuff. That's what I was trying to update you guys before this all hit, and I gave him time to do it. My Texas healer. Yo, oh, cool. That's such a cool dog. Do I have website with docs? No, I don't have a website. I guess I should have started a .com. Facebook's always get banned. It's all linked below in the videos. All the docs are linked below in the videos talking about them. So if there's a video talking about it, it's linked below. And like all the big videos, all the case videos, all where I'm like representing my court, it's all like linked below all that stuff. And you're right. Thank you. The YouTube format's awful for telling as much info that I've been through over the years. Because you see it at Todd's Podge, and it looks like a bunch of yelling and screaming at cops in some videos, because those are retaliatory stops, and that's how I react to some of them. And some of them used to get watches before they got banned, and that was like part of that. So I've just had to like, develop things along the way, and that's why I got a lot better. I got a video editor. I learned how to use it. Nicholas, yeah, a lot of folks actually get it. Yeah, I know, man, but it is so discombobulated. And if you looked at my analytics, you would see that like I'm not allowed to be shown to new people. It's like that's it, and so I can't win over new people. Like the month of December, I was negative like 32 subscribers. So that's why that's what I mean. Like I have to invest resources mainly to keep the can kicking down the road legally, and then B, to actually make like a full docu-series, so. Yep, geez, yeah, hi, cat like a dog. Yep, my neighbor's got one living next door. It's great. I love cats. That I love critters. Critters are cool, man. Hit that thumbs up. Thanks, Liberty Absurdity. Yeah, I hope that answers your questions, man. All the docs are linked. Whatever I'm talking about in the episodes, it's all linked below in the thing. First Capital, hey, what's up, brother? Good to hear from you, man. I gotta go check your. Sorry, yeah, dude. Good to see you, man. That's my bro right there, man, from up the road. First Capital came in, right off the bat before we even met. Came down and filmed for me at the Remembrance Day parade in Gettysburg. He's had my back the whole time. He's a very entertaining guy. Go check out his channel. Good to see you, brother. Look, every month said to keep your algorithms. Oh, Flummox. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, sorry, I don't produce more. I've had to keep the can going down the road. Okay, Tori, yeah, thanks. No, it's good to hear from y'all. Been hitting any fishing lately? Richard, no. Been doing more dog, and like I got the saltwater bug, and on the East Coast, anywhere that's nice to saltwater fish gets jammed, dude. It's like a word gets out and like everybody packs down there. Like the Gulf Coast, it lets you like dune bust out there in my hillbilly truck and go fish, anywhere you want to. So that's I don't fish as much around here. I do more of the stuff, but I've been litigating and living and juggling life. Um, yeah, yep. So no, I haven't done any fishing. Bipolar bear, Bipsum solar bear. That's the best person. Who's that? Who's that? I did not mean the dog. I don't know. You're in Florida. Oh, Richard Clay. Yeah, in Florida. Oh man. Oh no way. Are you landlocked, Florida? I got you. Yeah, Florida. At least you got a lot of saltwater to drive to. Surf fishing going on Delaware isn't too bad right now. Really? Oh, I didn't know there's anything running. I thought it was still too cold. That's cool. We gotta check it. Oh, Daytona Beach. Yeah, I know. Well, that's what's cool about having a truck. You can, like, with the captain, go beach assault places. That's awesome. Born and raised in Bucks County. Just cool name. Just a cool name. I want to look up. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, it is. I do like it. I'm ready for another Gettysburg trip. Angry vet. Yeah, man, I got stuff in the works. Like I said, you guys, I'm not quitting. I'm just like, everything I have to do has to have an impact. And just like, that one video out of the last handful I've done that took off was like the one. It was like the 50,000 views. It was like catching Safi on video. So that's what I mean. Like, I have to make stuff that'll appeal to a big audience to make me work, producing it. And I have stuff in the works, y'all. I'm not gonna let y'all down. I've just been playing so much lawyer. You guys don't understand how much lawyer it takes. How much lawyer it takes to keep the can kicking down the road with that stuff, man. You go on the sneak. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I got a rap sheet. I got ideas out the yin yang, and yeah, I'm not done, y'all. It's just I'm done keeping up the court videos because they don't break out. I'm not gonna do it better than I did last time. I was epic. I beat the attorney general in court as my own attorney, like with all that epic funny stuff, and that didn't go anywhere. So I'm not gonna do better than that. I have to try something different. It's like I'm defeated. Glad I have that in the hole, and it will be explored at a later date and time. And I'll continue it. There's way more funny stuff that was said on the court record and stuff I set up and emails between this and that and blah blah blah. But I'm playing triage, y'all. If they arrest you, yeah, I missed it. 6 Oaks, I do. Cora, suck out your soul. You know it. Yep. Liberty, you said it. Some of you, yep. You've spoken like someone from experience. Yeah. So. Okay. Any other questions? I'm sorry. You guys are great. You're having your conversations, answering each other on here. Just yeah, trying to answer. Anybody else have questions? What's up? Really? Are we all caught up? Okay. All political power is inherent in the people. Carano, yeah, I know. I'm at the point where I'll meet up. I'm at the point where like I think we has best secure our own foodstuffs. Like get food prepared. I love the ideals this country was founded on. However, I think that right now we're kind of along the wave with whatever the government's going to throw out. And the courts have no law, and the police are kind of just the jackbooted thug protectors of the elite and the status quo, and they like their position. And I have family members and friends that are police, but look at my life and experience. So anyway, I'm not getting on them. We all know what's going on. But I think that we are going to have a great reset, like Klaus Schwab's coming for everything that WEF have called for in the past dozen so years has come to fruition, and talk about the great reset. And we know the economy has to reset because they printed so much money. Our money's so devalued, which it has been over time. It just like accelerated it. So I just feel like we're at the time you want to be as independent as you can. And that way you don't have to be dependent on other stuff. So yeah, that's big time food. Everyone that like food generation, food prep, food storage, food generation. I'm not saying the world's gonna end. I'm saying that if you don't have food, what's gonna make society collapse or agree with everyone. Like, okay, well, our grocery stores don't have food, but what happens is, remember last COVID when everyone stocked toilet paper? You're going to have to, we'll issue you guys groceries on, we'll print them out and you guys will have, grocery, but you have to have an RFID chip to get it. And that way only X amount of people can get X amount of products. And that way it'll limit you. And like, boom, all of a sudden, none of us would walk right up and do this. A handful would. But if the government's narrative is that, we got a cyber attack and all the grocery stores are out and we can only give food at distribution points. And if you want it, we have to be able to make sure that, you're not hoarding it and you're getting your allotment. And bang, if you want to do that, you have central bank digital currency. It's implanted in your thing because it's infallible and it won't be used to track you and limit you to a 15-minute city or not able to buy beef instead of bugs. Try bug burgers, man. Eat the bugs. Eat the bugs. Eat the bugs. So that's like where my mentality's at. I think everything's a fun game. Yes, Johnny Cachet. Yes. Socialism. Really worse, because, socialism is, fun in papers and theories, and we all know it doesn't work. But it's also because it's such an easy vehicle to hijack narrative control for fascism. And that is more of like, the way Stalin rolled, like, he to beat the fascists in Germany. At least they were like, like open about it. Because then, they're under a socialist economic system, but then again, the elites take power. So I don't care. Oh, Rick James, good to see you, brother. Hey, Unity. Good to see my old timers on here. No sense makes sense. I eat a lot of muffin. That's always good to have around, man. I only eat mud bugs. Keith, yep. Oh, yeah. Mud bugs. Mud bugs. Yeah, eat the bugs. Yeah, but capital said, yeah, it's all quagmire, man. Western medicine in general is like subpar, especially in America. So, if we have the best med care and we have the best society and less level of life, why are we the sickest? We are literally more sick than like tribesmen, indigenous tribesmen. Auditing Erie County, my man, much love. Oh, did I miss auditing AEC? What's up, man? What did I miss you? Sorry, man. Good to see you, bro. I'll be dogged. Auditing County, some random dude. Dan, yep, Sorry, I missed you, man. From Cheyenne, random Jeff. Yeah, hey, sorry, if you're here, you guys are just joining us. I did my brief. I did my catch-up. I'm juggling a bunch of law. I got a bunch of law out the door. That's what I just ran over in the brief when this thing started. So now I'm just at, like, the Q&A for people asking Q's and A's. Yeah, I just wrote a whole bunch of law, and I'm juggling it. That's why I'm not doing videos. Private insurances. All right, questions. Anybody got questions? I'm not wrapping it up, but if anybody has questions, I would love to answer them. Thanks for sticking with me. Again, I hate the talking head format, but, every once in a while I have to do it to catch y'all up. So thanks for coming to stop by and checking up on me. Eat the bugs. Are we just like devolving into like eat the bugs like conversations? I mean, yeah, we can do it. Again, that's well, yeah, flummox. Yeah, I think we have to affect what you can where you can. Obviously, I'm social media in here and trying to get the word out about corruption and how it happens in your backyard and do something about it. But you always have to also be realistic on what you can affect yourself, and food independence is one of those. Some random dude, much love, brother. What are your predictions for 2030, Johnny Cash? Dude, I don't know, man. We might still have a functioning government around by then, but I think they're gonna crash. Like, our economy's got to crash. The dollar has to reset. So, like, probably a better narrative because they printed so much of it, and we have fractional reserve system for, like the entire time since the inception of the central bank. So like, yeah, they've been printing money out of nowhere for forever, but it's like, guys know since COVID hit, they've printed twice as much money as they've ever printed in their lives, and we're not like stockpiling twice as much gold as has ever been in our treasuries either. So that's why it seems like the price of everything's gone so far up. It takes about 2 years to come back trickling down around, and that's why it seems like the price of everything is so high, but it's really not, It's really just the purchasing power of the dollars have because we printed twice as much in the past 2 years. And the central banks around the world did the same. So, like, it's almost as if it is setting up for a great reset. So they cause the emergency, then they offer you the solution with, Klaus Schwab's you'll own nothing and be happy. Because, like, at least you'll be eating bugs and have a place to, like, submit in these FEMA camps they're building or whatnot. And it's your choice to do so because it's like, the wastelands out there, like we have fun playing Fallout because it's like, fun playing a video game and that. But, in real life, you'd stink. And like, what's going on, dog? What are you doing? Dog's doing something over there. Anyway, yeah, it wouldn't be fun. And the main thing is, like, you want everything, a peaceful transition to happen, most likely. Because, people's kids would be wrapped up in this. All your family and their kids. And, I'd hate to, if we have all these mind movies, fun mind movies about apocalypse and reset, and we want it to happen as peacefully as possible. Well, because we still want medications to be made and hospitals for our elder people and schools for our kids. Well, I don't know about that one. Okay, let me take that one back. Okay, just a functioning society for our kids. How about that? All right. So that's. Are we way off topic? Did we go for that? That's my theory. I think we're going to be forced into a great reset, whether we want it or not. So, we're along for it. Again, insulate yourself. Learn to brew beer. Yeah, I know. Well, that takes, that takes a grain and whatnot. Wine, I would suggest, is better. Yeah, okay, I'm wrapping it up. It's been 90 minutes. Anybody eat your bugs? Let's go. You got some good ones? I don't know, man. Apparently there's like chitin in certain ones, but like grubs are better than bugs. I don't know. Some people know more about that than I do. Sorry, too much box swine. Yeah, I've been there, man. I've been there. Richard Clancy, much love, bro. Let's go. Yeah, good to see you, bro. All right. I guess. Any other questions? Roaches. Peace, Flummox Carino. If we let them, I got 77 people here. Any last minute questions before I wrap this up? It's getting on like an hour and a half. Much love, y'all. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting me, keeping it alive. This was for y'all. This is a talking head update. We can't digest chitin from bugs. That is correct. And a lot of people are more sensitive to it. It's like us eating grass. Correct. We are not ruminant animals. We don't have tripe to digest grass. I agree. Wine and cake. Angry Vet, much love, brother. Thanks for showing up. Flummox Long, stay in touch. Yeah, I'll keep it up. Johnny Cash. Okay, all right, much love, y'all. It looks like we're wrapping up. So, no more questions. Thanks, y'all. Yeah, thanks for being here. I'm not done. I'm just going to make stuff that's more worthwhile, and I got to keep the can kicking down the road with the legalities. Yeah, if you guys, thanks, Angry Vet. Share. If you guys know anybody that likes to carry this stuff, hit them up for me. I'll work with them so they can produce something. I'll hand them. This document here, and here. These are my motions where you can read everything and it's cited and everything makes sense. So if you know anybody doing that, sweet. And yeah, like I can't contact them. Like can't say, hey, hit this guy up. Like doesn't work. Hasn't worked 5 years. Can't get in touch. So yes, if you been pushing on Twitter. Thanks, Richard Clancy. Yeah, I know. I see my analytics. Thanks, bro. I really appreciate it. That's the best help I can get, or peer-to-peer shares and other people getting it out there. Because I do. I'll look at my analytics and I'll see like, someone's been sharing on Facebook, someone's been sharing on Twitter, da. So I appreciate it, y'all. It's the only way it's gonna get out, and that's the best help I can get. So much love, bro. Thank you. Geez, I'll tell everyone I can. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I know. Y'all been doing it. It's just, when you do the links and whatnot, I'll look later and they'll be banned and they won't show up on these browsers. And it's a shadow ban, man. So anyway, we'll just keep working on it, and I'm keeping documenting, keeping the can kicking down the road. And it's alive. And yeah, I got some really fun stuff planned. Because you're right, I have to make more epic stuff. Like what I've done up to now hasn't made it. So I'm keeping the law alive, and yeah, there are big things to come. Legal. Rick James, much love, brother. Good to see you. Unity. There are great things to come. I got to keep the legal can kicking down the road, and it's a nightmare, and it's not fun to watch, and we'll never produce a big video. It'll be great for filler when like the docu-series goes. See live, but thanks, give better. Yep, yeah, I'm on it. Yeah, I am enjoying the nice weather now. Now that I have time to sit down and do some projects, man. Please get a whole generous specific for a high noon episode. Nikki, yes. Yeah, we talk, man. We email. I've been doing legal law. Doing legal law. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I was even ready to do this update for y'all a week ago, but then they held the mail up and worked all that crazy stuff on the record, man. Unity, Rick James. Thanks, bro. It's always fun to quote Chappelle's show, man. That's one of the greatest. That shit stuff changed my life, man. It's so funny. You know, vicariously, the army lives through that so bad. Because it's just fun. Anyway, all right, y'all. Much love. I'm going to jump off here. And thanks for being around. Thanks for being here, Spartans. Much love, y'all. Take care.